And welcome back to the water cooler, everybody. Well, it used to be that when you bought ice cream, you were doing just that. You were buying ice cream. There wasn't a political leaning one way or another because it's ice cream. Why should it have anything more to do than just dairy? Well, Ben & Jerry's has a proud tradition of ruining dessert for ideological reasons, and they're back at it again. Now, the virtue signaling ice cream company is getting involved in the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, pulling their ice cream from disputed territory in the West Bank. An Israeli ambassador now asking 35 states here in the U.S. to punish the radical left company. So now, Ben & Jerry's isn't just ruining ice cream for Americans, it could destabilize the entire Middle East. Anyhow, joining us from the Lone Star State to help us understand the story and more, the founder of Patriot Academy, and of course, an ice cream expert, Rick Green. Rick, thanks for being here, sir.
I think I'll add that to my bio. I'm definitely an expert ice cream consumer.
Correct. And now apparently Ben & Jerry's doesn't want ice cream consumed in the disputed territories. What's happening? These woke companies, here we go again. They just can't stay out of the way of politics. I pun intended here, but we're going down a rocky road.
That's pretty good. I'm not usually speechless. I don't even know. I need a good comeback to that, Brody. You got me there, man. That is so good. I tell you what I hate about it is that Ben & Jerry's ice cream tastes so darn good, man. Yeah. They have all those amazing flavors, and I gave them up years ago because of their politics, and it's hard for me to give up good ice cream. Yeah. But yeah, those guys, I mean, look, they've been left-wing for a long time, given to left-wing causes, lambasted good causes. This is over the top, though, man. This is, look, we've got legislation in you named it. I think it's 30-something states now, anti-BDS, this whole divestiture, which is really war against Israel. I mean, it's economic warfare against the state of Israel because of all these anti-Israeli folks. And so a lot of our states, especially our red states, have stood with Israel and said that they would actually divest any of their investments. And these states have billions and billions of dollars that they invest into these mutual funds and other areas. Teacher retirement fund money goes into these things. And so good legislators have said, hey, man, we're gonna play tit for tat. We'll fight fire with fire, and we'll stop putting any money into any funds that have money in these companies that are doing economic warfare against Israel. And so I think that is what this minister from Israel is calling upon these states to do. Start calling on your investor funds to get out of if they're in any way involved with Ben & Jerry's, get out.
For sure. Hey, Rick, I want to turn to AOC. Some will call her AO crazy. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was asked yesterday by Nicholas Balassi from Just the News about Cuba. And, this idea that Cuba is evidence that socialism and communism do not work. So I want you to have a look at this. Then I want to get your thoughts on the other side. Here it is.
A lot of Republicans point to what's going on there with the protests and say it's evidence in Cuba that socialism and communism does not work in terms of economic systems. What would be your response to that?
I mean, again, as I said earlier, I think it's disappointing that Republicans are trying to make this about them and not centering the human rights violations of Cubans and what's happening to the Cuban people. This isn't right now, like, what we need to do is urgently support human rights, the right for free speech, the right for protest, and not try to vaguely allude to the possibility of U.S. intervention and regime change.
So that's interesting. She seems to be advocating for free speech for people outside the country. Same time here in America, let's censor some folks.
Yeah, first of all, I love the fact that in that clip you hear, I don't know if they're wearing clodhoppers or what, but it sounds like a Marxist lockstep. Anyway, look, AOC doesn't even understand what free speech is. Look, these folks are Marxists, so they're rooting for the Castros. They don't root for the people of Cuba. They love Marxist regimes because they're implementing the very economic models that AOC wants to see in place. Don't forget what AOC said last summer. She actually told people, don't go back to work. We don't ever want to go back to work. We love the fact that government is going to support everybody. This Illinois unemployment of $51,000 if you stay home and don't work. Mm-hmm. That is exactly the vision of people like AOC. So there's no reason she would root for the people of Cuba. David, you know this better than I do. We're missing a tremendous opportunity here to remove Marxism from our hemisphere and from this area right next to us. Ted Cruz and these other senators and congressmen are right to call on the Biden administration to reverse some of the policies that they've got in place. Barack Obama rooted for the Castros, actually went over there and supported and helped. The idea that we would let 200,000 illegal aliens come across our border every month, that we don't know who they are, what they believe, or what they're for, and then turn away freedom fighters and people that are seeking freedom and asylum from Cuba, where they're being abused and imprisoned. And as UFC fighter Masvidal said, it's a killing regime. His dad escaped from there when he was 14. It's just such a shame that we have leadership in America right now that is missing this opportunity to help people that love freedom and to get rid of another Marxist regime.
For sure. And Rick, my concern about this is regarding the standards of censorship. I mean, that's my biggest concern. In other words, who draws the line? I mean, so now all of a sudden, the Biden administration, as we saw from Jen Psaki the other day, they're working with big tech to say, this is bad and you can't say this and you can't say that. I mean, what kind of standard should we have, do we have, or lack thereof? It just seems like it's all over the place and it's political in nature.
The standard should be let the opposition speak. Only the people that are telling lies are afraid of free speech. People that have confidence in what they believe in, people that are speaking truth, they have no problem with the other side speaking and you having the opportunity for debate. This should send chills down every American's spine whenever the press secretary of the President of the United States is talking about collusion with big tech to stop anyone that says something that is the opposite of what the narrative from the White House is. It's not just opinions or not getting opposition. It's deadly. How many people in America have died because of the shutdown on any speech about ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine? Tens of thousands, maybe more than 100,000. It is evil. It is wrong. Let these doctors speak. Let the people that are for freedom in Cuba speak. Let the marketplace decide. If somebody says something that's stupid, let them say something that's stupid and get hammered in the.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Rick, you broke up there at the end. You became like an alien. I mean, don't take it the wrong way, but your audio, you went a little wild there. But we knew exactly what you were saying. So appreciate it, Rick Green, here on the Water Cooler. And look, he's right. And this is the big concern. What are the standards when it comes to censorship? And the founding fathers, and I can guarantee you Rick would have said this, the founding fathers would be turning over in their grave if they saw what was going on today. It's like all of a sudden everybody's yelling a fire in a crowded theater. No, if you have an opinion, that doesn't mean it's fire in a crowded theater. Give me a break, even if it's controversial. We're back in a moment with Drew Hernandez talking about